Hi guys, so today I thought I'd put a video on some card making, and these are the 3 cards that I'm going to be making in today's video. It should be a pretty quick video because they are very simple cards to make, and I didn't need too many supplies to make them. So hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright, so let's get started on our first card here. This one is going to be a pretty simple card. All I have done is I have taken a strip of scrapbook paper that I had for leftover. And it's about 2.5 inches wide by 5.5 inches long, and I am just going to be taping this down to my cardstock here, or my card base, sorry. Anyways, and just make sure, because I've done this before where I've glued it on the wrong direction. I mean, it doesn't worry so much right now because it's just one pattern, but you want to be careful just in case you're planning on doing something different. Sorry, and this one, this is just a piece of leftover that is just white on the front, and it is a different color on the back. And I like the white side better, so I'm just going to be sticking that down there. And then I've got a little bit of this, just as a white glue here that is from Martha Stewart. And I'm going to be just putting a bunch of glue on the back of my button. And I'm putting my button right there for now. Kind of like that there with the 2 bows off to the side. So I'm just going to throw some glue on the back of this one, and I usually put quite a bit on and then press it down, and do the same thing on this one. Put a nice big dab of glue on and stick it down. Now since this is just a regular, oh that slid down, a regular white glue, it is going to take some time to dry. So I would say probably give this, 3 or 4 hours to dry before you know for sure that nothing is going to be falling off. So now I'm going to do 2 cards here that I'm going to try to line them up a little bit. And I'm going to be using just some tape here to keep straight lines. And I'm just going to match it with the line on my cutting pad here. And this is just some green painter's tape that I got. And I'm making the little piece here, it's 2 inches wide that I'm making it. And I'm just going to tape my card base down so it doesn't move any on me. And what I'm going to be doing is using this honeycomb stencil on top, and I'm going to be using some of my distress inks. And then stamping on top of that. And this one is a self-adhesive one. So I can just stick that right down like that, and then we've got no worries about it going anywhere. So I think for this one here, I'm going to use a blue and a yellow. I'm going to use this peacock feather and this mustard seed. And I think I'm going to start with the blue at the bottom. I have just Velcroed in my own little makeup sponges in the bottom, and they seem to be working perfectly fine. I should probably have a piece of scrap paper down underneath, but I don't. And all I'm doing is blending the color on a little bit, and I just hold it by my Velcro piece here. And just do that. And if you want to add some more to make the color darker at the bottom, you can do that. You can also make it really light if you want. You can always dab your color off on some other paper first so that some of the color goes away, and then come in really light. And now I'm using this mustard seed. And I'm just going to dab this on and start at the top on this one, and then come down to the middle and blend it together a little bit here in the center. And my sponge gets a little bit of the color on there, but so far I haven't noticed it, that when I put new ink on, it doesn't seem to do any damage so far. Like, it doesn't blend the blue out into other projects, so I think I'm still okay. I just stick that back in again. So this here, this part is done. Now pull that up, and I mean, seriously, that looks pretty. I really like it. I'm really liking the stencils with the distress inks. They look so nice together. So now on top of this, I think I'm going to stamp with my painter's tape still on there so I don't get outside the edges. And the stamp set I'm using is called Meadow, and it is by Inkadinkadoo. So it looks like this. You guys can see that okay. And I think I'm going to be using this one here to stamp with. So I've got a large acrylic block here, so I'm going to stick that on there. And then right here I have got my, it's VersaFine Onyx Black that I'm using. And I really like this ink because you get super crisp images. If you're having any trouble with your image, what I sometimes do is I'll take a nail file and just really slightly scratch the surface a little bit of my stamp so that it picks up the ink a little bit better. So then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to stamp this up, ink it up a little bit more. It's not as nice as I'd like it. I'm going to press that down. I'm going to hold for a couple seconds and then pull back up. And then I've got a baby wipe here, and I just use that just to clean my stamp off, because I find the pigment ink, this is a pigment ink by the way, it really sticks to my stamps. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel up this painter's tape very slowly and try not to rip the paper off the front of my card. And there is our little section there. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here with this cute little button. So I'm going to use my glue tape here, and I'm going to stick that down right there. And this button has, I don't know if you guys can see, it's got a little bit of a flower design on it. And I'm going to make sure the flower design is on the outside so that people can see it there. So that is going to be the end of this card here. So I'm going to set that to the side also to dry. For this next card, I did the exact same thing with the painter's tape and just did a 2-inch portion. And this time I have got a different stencil. It is, I don't know the name of this, what this pattern's called, but it is pretty. I'm sure somewhere in my mind I probably knew what it was called, but I can't think of what it's called. I don't like putting that there. Sorry. This one doesn't stick down, so I am just taping it so it's not going to move on me when I am trying to use it. So I'm going to pull it pretty tight here and just make sure that it is stuck down. And then this time I think I'm going to be using a green and a purple. I think I'm going to do the purple on the bottom. The purple is actually very, very dark. I've used it once before. It's a very, very dark ink. So I might actually get a piece of scratch paper if I can. I'll just fold this in half. And I think I'm just going to dab it, and I'm going to dab it off a little bit and then dab it on here. And just kind of do the same thing, kind of little circular motions. And do it a little bit more than halfway up because I'm going to come down with the green a little bit from the top only. And then you can do the same thing, dab it off a little bit just to get those colors off. Oh, I just got some on my card. Well, we're going to have to stick something over that, aren't we? I just want a little bit darker down here at the bottom. So I just added, I didn't dab off quite as much there. Okay, so the purple is now done. And this purple, I forgot to tell you the name, sorry, called Dusty Concord. And then this green that I'm using is called Crushed Olive. I do the same thing, just circular motion and move it around. I'm gonna kind of overlap a little bit. I don't mind the overlapped color. Wasn't sure what it was gonna look like, so I'm glad it looks okay. And that is it for my distress inks. And I just keep them in this little iris case that I got from Michael's for like $3. and I can actually fit a third row in there, so I can actually fit 12 of them in here. I mean, they do move around a bit, but I mean, I'm not sure how much the Tim Holtz case is, but I mean, this one was only like $3. If you use a 50% off coupon, I mean, you can get it for $1.50 then, which is a pretty good deal. So I'm just gonna pull up, oops. I'm just gonna pull up my stencil here. And I'm gonna set it over to the side. And then I think I'm gonna use a different image this time for my stamp set. I think I'm going to use the one that is like it's like a tall wheat one. And this one, when I put it on my stamp block, it is so big, I have to actually put it on sideways to fit. And it's, as you can see, it is actually taller than this section, so I'm probably gonna just only ink it up part way and hope I don't get any ink on my black thing here, or at least not too much. I'm gonna set it down and press, and I didn't mean to wiggle it there, but I did, and then pull up. And it looks pretty good. You can see there's a little bit here. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little splotchy because I obviously did not press good enough there, or I didn't ink it up enough because it was so close to the edge. Anyways, but sometimes if I have big issues like that, I just get out a black marker or a Sharpie or something like that, and I will use that, and I will just very, very carefully fill in the spots that I missed. So now I'm going to peel this up again. I'm going to throw that out, and then I have got another thank you greeting ready to go here. So I think I'm going to put that one. I was thinking about putting it there because I've got that little bit of purple ink. Okay, I'm going to try this. I've got a piece of skinny washi here. If I can find the end of it. I think that was it right there. I'm not actually going to glue it down yet or anything. I'll stick it down here, and it doesn't look horrible. So I'm going to stick that across there, and then I am, oops, sorry, putting my glue runner again on my thank you greeting. I'm just going to line it up with this little purple line and stick that on there, and then I am just going to use my scissors, and I'm going to trim this a little teensy bit because I didn't cut it perfectly straight, and voila. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please press the like button below and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my videos. Have a good day.